Is the high-priced motorcycle boom over? Let's get into it. Hello, welcome to RevelatorAlf. Hope you're well. If you like what I do here, don't forget to like and share the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notifications bell for all future videos. So, is the boom of the high-priced motorcycle, is it gone? Are we seeing the plateau, let's say, or even the scaling back on some of these prices? Now, on the face of it, you would say, well, no. Harley Davidson, Indian, top end of BMW and all the motorcycle manufacturers, they are really expensive motorcycles. Some, granted, more expensive than the others. Then you have those more boutique brands or more bespoke brands, and yeah, the prices can go up and up and up and up. But there's been a couple of indicators of this year, 2024, where some prices have started to come down in certain sectors or on certain models. Harley Davidson, for example, 2024, some of their prices are comparably lower than they were 2023. Not in all markets, granted, but on certain bikes in certain markets they've come down. Other manufacturers have followed suit as well, but the latest to have so-called cut their prices is MV Agusta with their Enduro Veloce or Veloce. Now, for the UK prices, MV Agusta wanted to charge £21,800. That was before the price cut. Now it appears that MV Agusta want to charge the princely sum of £20,000 for the Enduro Veloce. So basically an £1,800 difference. So why is that? Why are they dropping the price? It's not as if they're a brand that are selling hundreds and hundreds, thousands, millions of units a year. The problem is that they're in a market where there are cheaper motorcycles. Their class of motorcycle, there are cheaper alternatives out there. And they are excellent motorcycles as well. So you can understand why they've had to, cut their prices just so they can compete. The likes of Harley Davidson, I'll come back to them. Yeah, they've probably seen that their sales have been reducing over the last few years. There's lots of chatter online from the likes of me, yes, granted, and other commentators out there who will say the price is just way too high. But it's not just the likes of us. It's just everyday customers saying, no, these prices are just out of control now. People are not going to spend their hard-earned money on such high-priced vehicles, especially when motorcycles were always deemed to be the cheaper form of transport. Well, we can all agree that the idea of that, the notion of that has long since passed. But if Harley Davidson have kind of addressed this issue to a certain degree, not with all their models, that's got to be said, and the likes of MV Agusta and some other manufacturers as well, they're seeing that the top-end motorcycles are just probably a little bit too expensive to even sell in numbers to start covering some of the costs. Now, the likes of Harley Davidson, for example, that's where they see their biggest profit margins. In fact, that's where they've directed the company. That's where they're targeting those kinds of customers, as I've said in a previous video, that can afford these kinds of prices. But the question is, how many units are they selling? How much profit are they going to be making? And if they're not going to sell that many, then they need to find the profits from somewhere else. And a lot of times it's about reducing prices a little bit just to generate that extra bit of enthusiasm to go into a brand and start buying their motorcycles. So are we going to start seeing a little trend here where motorcycle manufacturers, as is so often the case, they start following suit? They see a price reduction here, another manufacturer does the same, then another manufacturer will say, actually, we're not shifting as many motorcycles there, we're going to have to reduce the price here. Could we get into a bit of a price war? Could we finally see motorcycles, especially the most expensive, the more technologically advanced, the ones that are the signature models, let's say, of each motorcycle brand, could we see those prices start to become more achievable, more reachable, more realistic for most people? Well, I'm not saying that's going to happen anytime soon, but if any manufacturers are out there, they are reducing their prices. That can only be a good thing for not only existing customers, but for potential customers as well. And could that spur on a knock-on effect to other manufacturers? Who knows? But it could be that we have seen the plateau. We've reached the highest prices that they should ever be. And possibly they've just been overinflated for way too long, especially considering what's been going on the last few years. And if manufacturers can see that just to pull the prices back, even just a smidge, that's going to help their customers out, their new customers out, and it's hopefully going to enable these manufacturers just to, well, stay around just a little bit longer. But it was very intriguing to see the likes of MV Agusta drop their price on a particular motorcycle by £1,800, which is what, $2,500, just so they can start shifting more motorcycles. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Do we all welcome lower prices on motorcycles? Yeah, of course we do. Do we think it's realistic that there's going to be dramatic price reductions across the board? Probably not. One final thing here to note. Whilst the top of the line motorcycles, they're always going to be more expensive. And the argument to ever reducing those prices to say, well, if you want that kind of quality, if you want that kind of expertise, if you want that technological know-how, then you're going to have to pay that kind of money. What we've seen in the last couple of years, other manufacturers producing, granted, some smaller motorcycles, but they are way up there in terms of quality. They are way up there in terms of technology and also usability. But the critical thing is that they come in at a fraction of the price. Yes, they could be motorcycles from Indian motorcycle manufacturers, from Chinese motorcycle manufacturers, but we have seen partnerships with Harley Davidson and Hero, with Triumph and Bajaj, with BMW, TVS. We've seen Harley Davidson in partnership with QJ Motor from China as well. It's no coincidence that they're not only trying to produce their own cheaper motorcycles, but also tap into the manufacturers that are producing the cheaper motorcycles anyway, to try and offset what potentially could be driving prices down in the future. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you like what I do here, don't forget to like and share the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notifications bell for all future videos. And I will catch you again on another video coming very soon. But don't we all want to see prices come down on motorcycles, especially our favorite motorcycles, or the ones that we really aspire to buy but we can never quite reach? Let us know your thoughts.